I'm at the moment in Australia, in Melbourne, visiting a little bit, and Rika's with me. And as I've been here traveling and riding my bicycle, visiting with people, you know, when you're away from Africa, you tend to look at things more clearer. And one of the things that kept on coming back to me is the fact of our relationship with God. And this morning I briefly want to talk to you about that. My first question is, how much is our relationship with God still counting in our lives? If we think of Enoch and Jesus, we understand that they really walked with God. And the Bible said in Mark chapter 1 that Jesus grew and he taught and he healed. And in chapter 1 verse 35 they gave the secret, and that secret was that he left early in the morning while it was still dark and he went out to pray. Then also, how much are we still impressed with God? Are we still as impressed with God as when we got to Him, when we met Him for the first time, left behind all the things that was behind us? Or are we more impressed with the devil, with the problems, with wars in Africa, etc.? And I believe we need to look again at how are we really understanding God to walk with Him. In that also, sometimes we try and find in YWAM better schools, better programs, better methods. But I believe it's not any of that. It's not how much we really do, it's how much we're really being. And Jesus spoke of being in Him as the branches in the vine. And I believe we need to have that time of being with God. Though excellence and relevance is very important, it's more important that we're actually with God in whatever we're doing. And then lastly, are we really walking with God in every aspect of our lives? That we are not compartmentalizing it, but we are in our relationships, good or bad, in our circumstances, good or bad, but we are with God. It is also good that we're busy with ministry, with work, with tasks, with setting goals and all these things. But the question is not how much we have got of God, how much we know of God, but how much has God got of us? How much does He know us? Because the psalmist says that, know me, O Lord, but then also it is as we give ourselves to God that He knows us. And in closing, I want to remind us again of Romans chapter 11 from verse 33. The Bible speaks of who has God ever owed to, who has counseled God, etc., etc. But then verse 36, I think it's the crux of it all. And he says, because from Him and through Him and to Him are all things. To Him be the glory forever and ever. Amen.